Global from Asia, episode 222. 222. GFA. Let's go.
Welcome to the Global from Asia podcast, where the daunting process of running an international business is broken down into straight-up, actionable advice. And now, your host, Michael Michelini.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Aurelia Pay. I use them personally for sending money to my Chinese suppliers from Hong Kong. It's a cross-border payment solution between China, Hong Kong, and Southeast Asia. So when I need to make a payment to a Chinese supplier, I just hop online to place the remittance, pay to the Aurelia Pay's Hong Kong-based bank account, and Aurelia Pay will settle RMB within the same business day. So check them out online at www.aureliapay.com, AURELIAPAY.com, or check them out linked in our show notes. Happy Tuesday morning, everybody. We are into the middle of April, and I am stressing, as always. Event organizing is a very exciting roller coaster ride, just as any kind of business or any kind of launch. Third annual Cross-Border Summit is about 10 days away as far as this show is released. So we are getting on the edge, and I know we got quite a few listeners coming and people following the blog, so I appreciate all of that. There is still time to get some spots. We are almost full on the VIP, and the other general entry is getting there. And, even if you can't make it, we had quite a big blast on my birthday. A lot of my friends and people in the audience were sharing the Cross-Border Summit on Facebook and other social platforms. That is also a much appreciated way to show your support of the event and this show. Just go on to crossbordersummit.com/2018 to see the full page and hit the share button on your browser. And also we have the online tickets, which is a great way to get access to the live WeChat event as well as the recordings afterwards. So you can get all that value from many of the sessions that we have there. And it supports this show that you are listening to. So thank you in advance. All right. And some other things. We are just updating the content. I'm looking at all of our numbers and our traffic and what's working. You know what's funny is our blog is much more popular than our podcast by far. The blog has been just blowing up. Traffic has been going crazy. We're rocking out blog posts. Definitely check out globalfromasia.com/blog, BLOG, for long-form text formats of these transcript shows as well as other types of content, especially normal articles. We're going to keep on focusing on that, and I'm actually going to be reducing the amount of podcasts. We're going to do every other week an interview and every other week a Gladiator show. So it'll be 4 per month every Tuesday. So we're going to move the Gladiator from Fridays to Tuesdays and basically swap things around to make it 4 shows per month total. I know, like, Dr. Neil O'Connor, wants to put the numbers. I'm going to figure out a way to get the numbers so you know which one's a Gladiator series and which one's an interview series. So thanks everybody for your feedback on that. I know we got to put the numbers, but actually the blog is what's driving the traffic, so I don't want to mess up the title in the blog post, but I'm going to probably put it in the description. I'm talking to Cheryl and our content team on updating that. All right, so just a little bit of housekeeping there, the summit and some of our content schedules. So let's get into this week's show. We have Zach Benson. This guy is a very positive thinking, positive-minded entrepreneur and marketer. He's a pro at Instagram, and he gives some great tips and hacks, I would say, for sure. It got me thinking of some more interactive ways, maybe a little bit not what you normally hear on online, at least that I've heard about Instagram. So it's some great stuff. Get your pen and paper out, as I've said. Haven't said it in a while. And check out Zach, CEO of assistagram.us. Also, happy birthday, Zach. It's kind of just random timing for this show, but his birthday was just a couple of days before the release of this show, and he went to Boracay and had a great time. And we're very close birthdays. I just found out after with early or April birthdays. So happy birthday, Zach, and let's enjoy the show. Also, a quick shout out to our amazing sponsors of the Cross-Border Summit for this year's amazing event. Infinity Group Asia Limited, Esteban, and our South America expansion. More will be announced at the event. Insight Quality Services, Andy Church and the team there. Look forward to seeing you guys there. Forest Shipping, Forrest Zhang, founder. I really appreciate it. She does amazing FBA fulfillment prep services in China. She'll be on an upcoming show. WCWS for a new way of sourcing and managing your supply chain. Immune Fulfillment, a fulfillment company here in Shenzhen, China. Thank you guys for your support. Appreciate it. And see you at the summit. Okay, thank you everybody for tuning in to our Global from Asia podcast. We're in for a treat today. We have with us Zach Benson. He is a full-time entrepreneur, hustler, world traveler, and a dancer, as well as connector. I think we have a couple things in common. And he's was a fourth-round finalist in the TV show So You Think He Can Dance. And he's also the founder and CEO of Assistagram.us. And he's an Instagram expert. He helps people set up campaigns to reach millions of different people. And he is living by the philosophy to help others to reach their goals and their true potential through art and social media. So I'm excited to have him on the show. Thanks for coming on, Zach.
Yeah, super pumped. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. So we met in Saigon, Vietnam at a DC internet marketing meetup, and it was cool. We got connected through a mutual friend, Chris Moore, and you're in Taiwan, right? Where you're based?
Yeah. So I'm doing a lot of traveling, right? So tomorrow I fly out to LA, so I'll be in LA for like 10 days. Then Boracay, Philippines for my birthday.
Nice.
Just everywhere, another country, another culture. Every
Awesome.
single week.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've reduced the travel a little bit. I probably heard one of my kids, my daughter in the background here, but yeah, I love the hustle, and it's great. And you also even have a travel academy, so how to travel the world for free, Tribe Influencer. Yeah. We can link up also. So What's your story? Where a little bit of history for our listeners.
Yeah, so I was actually born in South Korea and then adopted by my parents in the States. So I grew up in Iowa. Pretty much, I struggled a lot growing up. I couldn't say the letter R until I was in my 20s. I had a speech impediment. Kids were making fun of me because I grew up in Iowa, right? So I was like the only Asian dude in my high school. Didn't really talk much until I found dance, and that kind of became my voice, that became my platform that I used to express myself through movement. And yeah, traveled the world with dance. Was on So You Think You Can Dance for a couple episodes.
Awesome.
And then from there, started up my social media agency. So it's been a real win for sure. Like crazy times of ups and downs, but now I'm finally doing what I love. Teaching is my passion. Traveling is what I love to do. So, life is good right now.
That's great. Yeah, and this. So then, it's Instagram is your platform of choice, you would say?
Yeah, I feel like Instagram is a really amazing platform right now. It's almost at like 1 billion users. Got acquired by Facebook a few years ago, so it's definitely blowing up and growing super fast. I like it just because it's all about photos and videos, and I post a lot of photos and videos myself when I travel. And it's just a cool way to see other people's experiences, like where they go to eat, where they travel to, just like an insider's look on their life. So that's why so many people love Instagram, and that's why it's my platform of choice, because it's a platform that's pretty easy to grow. Like you can grow audiences and your fans super fast.
Nice. Very interesting. So yeah, today we're talking Instagram, of course, your specialty, and I think we also, a lot of listeners are Instagram, e-commerce sellers and business owners. So I think seems like e-commerce is a natural fit for Instagram with the photos and showing off the product.
Yeah, it's like Instagram is just a perfect platform for anyone to just launch their brand, or get their products and stories out there to the world. So yeah, nowadays you see a lot of like e-commerce brands and a lot of new features coming out on Instagram. Like now they just partnered up, collaborated with Shopify. So basically, if you have a business profile, a certain amount of followers, like you can, post up your picture, video with your product in it, and your users and fans will be able to click on that product and buy it without even leaving the Instagram platform. So for e-commerce people, it's like that's a super powerful new feature that Instagram just rolled out. And yeah, I mean, everybody's just trying to push out their products and services on the platform.
Very cool. And so it seems like it's unnecessary, right? I mean, I guess Facebook, I guess Mark Zuckerberg's pretty smart. Obviously, very smart guy. So
yeah,
I know a lot of people thought he was crazy when I forgot how much they bought it for, like $3 billion. I don't even remember. I don't know if but they bought it for quite a bit. But I guess it's definitely worth the investment now. It seems, right? So.
Yeah, for sure. They've grown it. They've grown the company super fast, right? I think in like year one or so, it took them a while to get 50 million users and 100 million. And then when Facebook took over, it like jumped to like 400 million. Now it's at 800 million, soon to hit $1 billion, probably by the end of the year. So yeah, was definitely a good investment.
Totally. So I'm thinking as an e-commerce seller today, I think it's challenging. I don't know to be too commercial. Of course, I think social media is meant to be personal, right? I mean, you can still be a brand personality. I mean, or individual. What's do you think the best angle for like product sellers to build their account? I guess the user ID should still be their brand name and their product. I guess what's the angle you suggest usually?
That's a good point. So I usually tell people to do two things, right? Because I feel like you're the person, right? You're the commodity. You're the product. Like everywhere you go, right? Like your name is your most important asset. So I tell people to build their personal brands because when they're out networking and talking to people and trying to seal deals or make new friends, you hand to them your business card but then you're like, hey, let's stay in touch on Instagram. So they pull up your Instagram and boom, you have 100,000 followers. Like it helps you stick out from your crowd and everybody else so that you're remembered and that person contacts you. So by leveraging your personal brand, you can definitely connect with more powerful people. Like more doors to potential and opportunities will open up for you and a lot of other things. So I usually tell people build that personal brand, but also, build a page for your store or your business, because everybody's got something that they just want to sell or push out to the world. So for the business page, it's just, it's really about creating a great content strategy, because with the great content comes the growth. But in order for people to come up with that great content, they need help, right? So I usually recommend people to work with influencers, give some of their product out for free to different influencers and micro influencers on Instagram, so that you have them to create user generated content that you can use on your own company page. And that's going to help, right? Showing other people's personal experiences with your product or service. And at the same time, creating your own content and even, curating content, like finding other content that's related to your niche or product and doing a mix, right? Because it's very time consuming and sometimes hard for people to just straight up create awesome, epic content every single day.
Exactly. It takes a lot of brain power. I know some people think it's, some people think it's a natural thing, but yeah, I mean, you have to always be thinking about, being creative takes, it's always hard to measure direct correlation of time or investment to creativity, which is always why it's challenging for business owners, right, to quantify. And I was just meeting a YouTuber today, and he's also saying he gets so many people contacting him to review their product, feature them on, he's I won't disclose who he is, but he's a little bit, overwhelmed or annoyed almost. I mean, sometimes it's hard to pitch these influencers. I know you just mentioned that, and it's on my list to talk about today too. Is there some kind of a template, or I don't want to say template, but standard format? I mean, is it free product for review? But if you got does it matter if you have a lot of, of course, some people have a lot. Obviously, Instagram accounts or social media or influencers are not obviously equal, so the value is different. But at the same time, sometimes these influencers don't want to receive money because they feel it's not as genuine, or is that becoming the normal thing, or what's the industry showing right now for these influencers? It's a growing trend, right? Everybody wants influencers.
Yeah. So just in this past year, companies have spent more money, like billions and billions of dollars, on influencer marketing. Like, it's a crazy market that's exploded, and it's the future of marketing for sure. So, I mean, as far as influencers doing posts, I mean, I myself, we have around 12 million now on travel and a bunch of different niche pages, from makeup to fashion to fitness. And we get messages every single day from other people wanting a free shout out or promoting our product or doing some type of affiliate offer. And the thing is I always tell people, it's it's your brand, right? So when you do a shout out for somebody else, and it's not related to your niche and your page, that actually damages your brand. It damages your swag, right? Mm-hmm. So it's
exactly,
people, your followers are whoa, this guy's kind of selling out. It's just all he does is product pushes,
exactly,
and trying to sell things, and it kind of turns your fans off. So I always tell influencers, be very wise about who you work with and choose to work with. And you don't have to work with everybody. So, a lot of people like to get free things. We all like to get free things in life. Me, I got over 170 nights for free in the past 2 years for myself and friends. Awesome. At 5-star hotels, which is cool. But I think a lot of people are looking at it at the wrong way. There needs to be a mutual beneficial exchange of value, right? So when you're trying to pitch these influencers and reach out to them, maybe some want money, others just want, a product. But if you're a person trying to work with an influencer, you want to make sure that you're going to over deliver for that influencer, make them feel special, make them, maybe create a couple of posts for you, take some pictures, but don't ask too much. And people have to remember that you have to start somewhere, but you want to have a relationship that's going to be built to last, not just a one-hit wonder, one-time thing. That's not how things work. Life is all about people and just growing your relationships and your influence, and it just starts step by step.
It's cool. So maybe some example or questions. So, we have we have a series here called Ecommerce Gladiator, where we are doing Amazon business. Every couple of weeks, we update the listeners on what's happening with the new business. So, of course, we're trying to reach influencers. We make a list. We do some research. The response rate's been pretty low, to be honest. I mean, I guess maybe it's because the pitch, or we are a brand new product without a reputation, really, or maybe I don't know. What do you think an influencer is looking for? Are they looking for are they saying, oh, this guy, they don't even have reviews on Amazon yet, which is kind of true because it's brand new? Or are they looking at the website, or are they looking at the Instagram profile, or are they just thinking the product looks new or cool, or is it the pitch, the angle? I guess it might be probably a combination of all of that. But I mean, what do you think influencers are looking for?
Well, influencers are looking for respect, like all people, love and respect. That's the key, is you have to make that person feel respected and appreciated, because anybody who's trying to reach out to an influencer, they want something from them, right? Mm-hmm. And that's just how it is in life. But by simply changing up your pitch and showing them appreciation, doing your research about them, their product, their history, complimenting them, getting them on a phone call at sometimes always works a lot better than just an email, because everybody gets tons of emails every day. Just be hey, I love what you're doing. I love your work. I love your content. I think you would be a great fit for like my company, like promoting my product and doing a bunch of other things. I could think of a dozen things that we could possibly collaborate on.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to hop on a call with you sometime and talk a little bit more for like 10, 15 minutes, and that would be a pitch for like a really huge influencer, like maybe like, 500,000 followers, 1 million. And it's just always working out a mutual beneficial thing. But I think, yeah, it's just respect, like respect them, like pay them, because they worked hard to grow that audience and that fan base. And then once you pay them, you build a relationship with them, and things will be a lot better. And instead of just trying to ask them to do something for free, right? First pay them, show them that respect, and then later on work out a better deal. Think about other ways that you can help them and vice versa.
Yeah, makes sense. Which makes sense, but I guess probably listeners are like, that's a lot of time, right? They just want to, I think everybody's always lazy. They just want to mass spam or mass email, like give a VA a work to pull a spreadsheet, get the contact details, and then just mass mail or copy paste the same email. But of course, that's not the right way to do it. So of course, it takes time or skill and personalization.
Yeah, and guys, I mean, I have to be clear, like, okay, why continue to pay for placement all the time? Like, when you could just build up your own powerful asset on Instagram, right? Build your own page, your own powerhouse page with crazy engagement, thousands of followers, videos that get tens of thousands of views, right? That is more valuable and important for you to spend your time and money on than just like randomly hitting up influencers. That's like a hit or miss, right? I'm not saying that that's not important, because it is, but it's not as important as creating and investing in your own Instagram page and building up your brand.
Yep. Agreed. But it's a balance, right? So it's kind of like the next point is there some kind of a formula that you would say somebody should do with investing in their own account versus these influencers or?
Well, so influencers and all people like to work with people of equal influence or higher, right? So that's why so many people are reaching out to influencers, because they see how it could benefit them. But when you yourself grow a page that has thousands of followers to even, like maybe 10, 50, 100,000 followers, and you're reaching out to these influencers, heck yeah, they'll want to work with you because you have that following, you have that brand presence, you have that street cred, right? They're like think of it. If like a model, like one of my friends is a model, his name's Larizzle, and like he is awesome, right? And he gets hit up all the time by these photographers, like to take his pictures, right? Sometimes he says no, sometimes he says yes, but models and photographers, they want to work with somebody with like equal following or higher to give them more exposure. So it's the same way. If you guys have a page with more followers, you're going to get a bigger and better response from these big influencers, because then they're going to be like, okay, this brand is legit. So it's a numbers game. It's what other people think you are.
Exactly. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, like I was saying, we're doing this coffee accessory brand, and it's brand new, so we have not much track record, and people are like, who is this company trying to get me to like promote their stuff? So yeah, I think it's true. It's the hard work building up a channel. I mean, I think you've got a pretty good system, and you enjoy it too. But what are some mistakes that you see these, especially product sellers, e-commerce sellers, making on Instagram or?
Yeah, good question. So the number one mistake is that people are too desperate to sell their products and their services to people. And the mistake that they make is, from day one, first post, they just post about their product, right? They're not trying to create like this interesting, inspiring, engaging story with their content, with their captions, right? They're just trying to push this product in somebody's face, use a bunch of random hashtags and hope that they'll buy, right? That's not interesting to people, right? Because people hate being sold. They're like, oh, well, here's another guy trying to sell his product, like it's about beginning with the end in mind. Like, okay, who is your target market? Like for example, maybe you're like a shoe company, and it's like your motto is like, these shoes take you anywhere, right? So then it's like, for example, creating a handle name like "We Take You Anywhere," and it's like the shoe company. It's called like something something shoes, and yeah, you post like interesting viral travel content like of couples and people and influencers and people doing epic awesome adventures, wearing shoes, jumping off cliffs, doing flips off of bridges, and all this crazy cool content, right? And then you're going to start attracting your target market, which is, backpackers, digital nomads, people who love the outdoors, living this life. And then later, once you build trust and you're just simply inspiring people, these people will be, your fans and more likely to buy when you do those product pushes and call to actions. But it's never, that's the mistake. People try to sell things too fast.
Agreed. So that's interesting. I mean, I think the user account wouldn't be the brand name then? So you said like...
Yeah, so like the handle name could be like, I don't know, for example, like "We Take You Anywhere," and then like maybe the shoe company is called like "Hey Dude Shoes," so you put that in bold, and then you have a pretty solid, cleaned up bio like describing like the shoes and everything. Even putting a link. And I usually don't recommend that people put their link to their website or stores until they have like around like 10,000 followers. Or at least 5,000, it's just simply add value, inspire people. And then, yeah, you can always do your products later. But the important thing is I always tell all brands and people, you should have at least 10,000 followers. And why you should have 10,000 followers is because once you have 10K, then Instagram gives you more power, right? So you have these swipe up features on Instagram stories where people can swipe up and go to your website and different things that will help you like sell more products. So that's why I usually say use 5 or 10K followers before your website. Yeah.
And that sounds challenging at least for me. I wonder what you would say to somebody listening today with maybe not even an account creator or like, I think there's so many Amazon sellers specifically that just are doing Amazon PPC or Amazon, organic, and they're trying to make their own website and all this social media, and they're overwhelmed. So it's I don't know. I mean, what, we're doing this in 2018. Of course, I always feel like the earlier you're on a platform, but now it's got to be more and more challenging, right? Starting brand new account now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I tell people 2 things, right? Either growth hack it, like buy an Instagram account with, 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 1 million followers, right? There's a lot of Instagram accounts that are for sale, like in different niches, from travel, luxury, fashion, to makeup, to fitness, to motivation. Every single thing that you can think of, there's an account for sale. And when you buy this account, guys, you'll be an Instagram influencer, like on this feature page. And, you have power. Basically, it's leveraging that power and using that page to connect with other influencers and people that you want to connect with on Instagram. Because when you have a huge following, you can pretty much talk to and do anything in life. Like that's how I travel the world for free, because my big Instagram accounts. Awesome. Now, the other thing that you can do is, because once you have the power, then you can grow your smaller pages. So let's say you buy a page for several $1,000s, then you can use that big page to get in what's called like these different engagement groups, like direct message groups, different engagement groups that are on these other platforms like Telegram and WhatsApp. And you can use those groups to engage on your smaller accounts. And that's how we grow. So the second thing I tell people is use curated viral content. Curate content that's already related to your niche and on Instagram, right? Because there's a lot of good, epic, great content on Instagram. All you have to do is be able to research it, find it, and post it at the right time. And eventually, like once you start looking at all this viral content that goes viral and gets thousands of likes and millions of views, like you'll start being able to find good viral content, and you can repurpose it or like save it or repost it on your page, give credit to the photographer, the creator, and use that content to build your audience like around your products, right? Beginning with the end in mind. It doesn't have to be straight up your original content from day one, right? First, like kind of build the audience, get other people interested that are like you think that will be interested in your products and services. And then as time goes on, kind of sprinkle in some of your own original content. And that's the way to grow. Like, and then, real quick guys, cause I'm teaching you how to grow. Like this is amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Man, I'm amazed.
So curated content, but then guys, like how you actually grow in 2018 is like, it is through the use of engagement groups. Now, an engagement group, so for example, on your Instagram app, you can do direct messages and send messages to people, but you can also create your own groups. So you have to take the time or hire a VA to do like outreach to these different big pages in your niche. So let's say that you have like some type of health shake product, fitness one. So you want to start building up all these other DM engagement groups with other fitness influencers and fitness pages, right? And you want to get people that have like around maybe 20,000 followers, 50,000, 100,000, maybe even 1 million followers in your engagement group. Now, each engagement group can have 15 people. So the way that you do that is you just simply take initiative and say, hey, I'm creating an engagement group of 20,000. Each person needs 20,000 followers plus. Would you like to join? And you start hitting up all these other people. There's a way that you can do this effectively, and that's by paying big pages that already have millions of followers or 100,000 followers plus, and DMing them or emailing them and being like, hey, I'm super new to Instagram, but I really want to grow, and I'd be willing to, pay you if you can help me get into some engagement groups, so maybe paying them like, $5 for each engagement group they can get in, like a quick, easy, like $50 might be able to get you in 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Some others might be able to get you in some others. But if you spend like around $50 to $100, you should be into like 10 different groups. And then what you do is each person, they post up their content and they drop the link into the group and they say, everyone like and comment on my most recent post. And all 14 other people do that. And that's how you can grow when you get a lot of high quality likes from a bunch of high quality accounts with big followings in a short amount of time. So that was kind of a long explanation, wow. But that's what you guys need to start doing. And then when you have 50 to 100 different engagement groups with powerful people in a huge network, then you can grow accounts really fast with epic viral content.
Yeah, this is really amazing. Thanks so much, Zach, for sharing this with listeners. Yeah, I love that you're willing to talk about the growth hacking. You're giving some examples. And buying an account, of course, something you don't normally hear. So that's awesome. Even get me thinking now, because it's harder to build one up from scratch. So, but of course, probably the fear are these accounts, like real fans, fake robots, or maybe I'll even get banned later if I take it over. I guess he's got to take some risks, or is there ways to know what's a good account?
Yeah, you can kind of do your calculations and add up the engagement, like average engagement per post, and basically based off of those numbers, you can tell if a page is performing pretty well, and even asking the owner of the page to send you insights of his or her page, seeing how many impressions they get, the demographics, like how many followers they gain, like in the past 7 days, like top cities, top countries, those kind of things are very helpful when you're trying to buy an account. And of course, just buying from someone that like, or trust, or that comes recommended. I mean, they're not gonna scam you or like try to like, hack your account, because it's their brand, right? It's what they do. So they're not gonna do that to you. So yeah, got to do a little bit of research, but once you find someone you like and trust, and yeah, just buy it.
Nice.
That's how I started.
Nice. Awesome, man. And yeah, I mean, you've been giving some great, it does seem like a lot of work, to be honest. I'm listening and taking notes here, but I mean, I guess it's the hustle, right? It's the growth hacking and the way to separate yourself from the competition and stand out.
Yeah, definitely. It's like all things in life, right? I mean, got to put in the work, and if you don't have time, then
money,
outsource it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if you don't have money, then hustle. Then freaking hustle and do the work.
Exactly.
Like, bro, make it happen.
Exactly. Awesome. And like getting towards the end, I appreciate your time today. So coming up with some content ideas, like we were mentioning earlier, you're always got to be thinking about it. Is there some kind of system you would say to think of different content, especially with products, or, I think the story, right? The story is the hardest part, right? I mean, videos or pictures or anything, it's got to have obviously you don't just take a picture of the product, say, buy my pocketbook, like you got to have an angle. Is there some kind of like system that you would think of?
I usually tell people, like new people on Instagram, like, okay, it doesn't really cost a lot of money to start up, right? And how to save time and money is just simply, and to learn as much as you can about Instagram, is to simply start a feature hub page, right? So, for example, I have a bunch of them. Like, I don't have a personal Instagram account. I recently just got this new account called Glamour Ideal, and it's all about makeup, fashion, like nails, different things that that girls and women like. And yeah, I mean, like all of our videos are pretty much going viral from the methods that I just told you guys about, like getting 400,000 views per post. And so it's none of my original content, right? I don't own any of this content. None of it I created, or my team didn't create it. Like it was just already out there on Instagram, and other people made these videos, and we made it go more viral. So yeah. I mean, my plan is to just like, sell those types of products to these people, and open up my own store. So I mean, I have a lot of friends who've done that. So usually that's the best place to start, is like, okay, we'll see what other people are doing, see what content is out there, really good content, and repost that content, share that content on your feeds. And yeah, then from that, you can see which performs well, which one doesn't, and start creating your own as well if you want to.
Awesome. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your business. So you have a couple things in your bio. What you do. You have you do this as a service, of course. That's why you're up on top of this, obviously so well, and sharing a lot of your insights today. And then you also have a travel academy. So I'd love to learn a little bit more about your Assistagram. Is it Assistagram Us? Is it .us, or should I say it's Assistagram.us?
Assistagram.us.
Okay.
That's my company. And yeah, it helps people with no time, right?
Sure.
Because everybody wants to grow their presence. Everybody wants to have a personal brand. Everybody wants to do this and that. So that's why we just have a full blown out takeover service where people get their own dedicated staff member from Assistagram grinding on their account, hours a day, doing hundreds of thousands of little manual actions to blow up and grow the account and make it go viral. So yeah, I mean, we've worked with some really big companies. We got over like 40 different clients now, from luxurious brands like we've worked with, like, Viceroy and Four Seasons, Ritz-Carlton, bunch of others, to thought leaders and life coaches, to e-commerce brands. We do it all. And then the other thing I'm really working on and excited about, the thing that I love most about life is just simply making people and companies better, and making myself, trying to be the best person I can be, right? So that's why I'm so passionate about this Instagram service management company. It's because I get to help other people build their brands and give their companies like online presence to get out there, reach the masses, and get and make the world a better place, right? So the other academy that I'm doing, there's two of them actually. Like, I started out as a dancer, as you know. I was auditioned for So You Think You Can Dance. I have this one called Six Figure Dancer Academy, which I'm doing with my homie Andre Cias, and he's doing my funnel stuff and basically helping other choreographers sell, brand, scale, and teach dance clinics everywhere they go.
Very cool.
So we're working on that, and the other one is a Tribe Influencer, where I teach other teach people how to become digital nomads, monetize their blogs, their videography, their photography, and basically get free travel, like free hotels all around the world. And how to monetize their passion. So both are all up and running. We have quite a few people, and it's fun. It's fun, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. And you're so positive. Like, we met, and I can feel it today in the show. You've been so positive, which I think is also really important, right? For people, to enjoy what they do, and
thanks, man,
to make things happen. All right. Well, so I think we'll, of course, link this up on the show notes. But if you want to, I know you don't have a personal Instagram, but anyways, listeners on Global from Asia could connect with you and or your businesses.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd love to hear your guys' story. I'd love to connect. I love connecting with people. So you guys can just simply email me at benson.zach@gmail.com, or also find me on Facebook, message me there. And then if you want to follow me and my adventures on Instagram, you can type in at Tribe Influencer. So I'm Tribe Influencer on Instagram, and that's my academy. So yeah, I'd love to talk and chat, and hopefully we can connect soon.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing. Thank you so much, Zach, for sharing. I really appreciate it. I think I heard some things about buying accounts and using different styles of usernames and not being matching your brand. And it's true. I mean, a lot of times I've found out with websites, if it's the websites, your blog, so having a dedicated blog that's also related to your products can then drive traffic to your product website. So it's some interesting insights. So I hope everybody's listening and learning. Of course, we have show notes with links to his websites and services and other programs he mentioned, as well as other things that I was taking notes on. Go to www.globalfromasia.com/episode 222. Lucky twos. And we are mid-April. And again, another plug and favor to ask. If you enjoyed this show and you support what we're doing, there's a lot of ways you can do that right now, as we're, as far as release of this show, 10 days away from the 3rd annual Cross-Border Summit in Shenzhen, China, April 20th, Friday, and 21st, Saturday. We have amazing speaker lineup, totally jam-packed. I've been talking about content. There's so much content and amazing people coming. So you can either attend, of course, obviously. You can also get the online ticket. And what I think is just a little bit easier or not financially required is sharing it, whether it's manually, sending it to people you think would be interested, word of mouth, or on your social media channels. Appreciate that in advance, everybody. Have a great rest of your week and see you next time. Bye.
To get more info about running an international business, please visit our website at www.globalfromasia.com. That's www.globalfromasia.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our iTunes feed. Thanks for tuning in.